Gita Jayanti. My pranams to all Atmajyothis, divine light of the self. I welcome one and all for the auspicious celebration of Gita Jayanti and Vaikunta Ekadashi. Let us contemplate about the festival. Every festival in India, we have so many festivals, many festivals. Every festival in India is an occasion for celebration, occasion for new clothes, occasion for getting together with friends and family members, going to the temples, and of course, good prasadam. Right? Festivals in India are definitely an occasion for celebration, but there is something more than that. It's not just puja, then taking prasadam, having new clothes. Each of the festivals in India has a deeper spiritual essence. Today is Gita Jayanti. Let us understand the spiritual essence of Gita Jayanti and Vaikunta Ekadashi. Traditionally, on the day of occasion Vaikunta Ekadashi, all of us do fasting. Okay, chant Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Bhagavad Gita, and go to the temple. Of all the Ekadashis, Vaikunta Ekadashi is considered as the Shrestha or important or most important. Those who do the fasting on Vaikunta Ekadashi, it is said, will attain the supreme abode of the Lord, Shri Vishnu. Then, on the same day, we have Gita Jayanti also. What is the relationship between Gita Jayanti and Vaikunta Ekadashi? On the day of Vaikunta Ekadashi, the gates of Vaikunta are supposed to open. The sun will start northward movement in a couple of days as Uttarayana. So far it is Dakshinayana, the southward movement of the sun. In a couple of days, Makara Sankranti onward, after Makara Sankranti, sun will start moving northwards. The 6 months of southward movement of sun is called Dakshinayana, and 6 month northward movement of sun is called Uttarayana. Dakshinayana is movement towards the south and movement towards the north. So the movement towards the north is supposed to start in couple of days after Uttarayana, Makara Sankranti. Our ancestors told that 1 year of human beings is nothing but 1 day of Devatas, divine beings. 1 year of human beings is equal to 1 day of the divine beings, Devatas. So that means 365 days divided into 180 and 180. 180 Dakshinayana Kala and 180 Uttarayana Kala. 180 days becomes Dakshinayana Kala becomes the night of Devatas, and 180 days Uttarayana Kala becomes the day of the Devatas. Okay. So, just like human beings, we sleep, and there is a period early in the morning. It's called Brahmi Muhurta. It's about 4 o'clock, 3:45, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's called Brahmi Muhurta. Brahmi Muhurta is very auspicious time for meditation, for any spiritual activity. Why is that so? During the Brahmi Muhurta, mind will attain the sattvic quality, the pure quality of sattva. All the hormones, all the what you call as the hormonal actions in the body are settled in the night. You are fresh, and the mind will be ready for meditation. That's called Brahmi Muhurta. 4 o'clock in the morning. So human beings have Brahmi Muhurta. Devatas also must be having Brahmi Muhurta. Vaikunta Ekadashi is the Brahmi Muhurta period for the Devatas. Vaikunta Ekadashi to Uttarayana Kala, because after that the day begins. So this is the early morning where the gates of Vaikunta open. Mahavishnu wakes up. What is the importance of that? It is our ancestors looked at the movement of the sun, movement of the moon, and found out the points or the times where energy is very, the energy of the universe, the cosmic energy and individual energy are at their peak. Vaikunta Ekadashi is a day when individual energy and universal energy are at their peak. Very auspicious for spiritual sadhana. So those events, those moments in the human, what do you call us, during the year, they call us Parvakala, the important or auspicious periods. Vaikunta Ekadashi is a Parvakala where cosmic energies and individual energies are at their peak. Now, are we able to recognize today in our energy becoming peak? I don't know, because with our busy life, with our activities and mind getting cluttered with so many things, we don't have. Do we have the ability to observe what is happening within us? I don't know. But our ancestors were very sharp observers, very keen observers. They observed that on this day, in this period, the individual energy and universal energy peaks. Because cosmos, at the cosmic level, it's going through Brahmi Muhurtam. At the individual level, you are working, at the individual level, if you go to Brahmi Muhurtam at 4 o'clock, your energy will be peaking. At the cosmic level, Brahmi Muhurtam, your cosmic energy will be peaking. So all your sadhana can coincide with that. That's the essence. Now to do sadhana, what is important? The mind has to be calm. Stomach has to be empty. Fasting is important for sadhana. For spiritual sadhana, fasting is important. Now there is modern research, a lot of research which tells periodic fasting is not only good for your body and mind, most important, it's for your brain. Have you heard of this? How fasting helps the brain? Fasting helps the body, of course, without spending a lot of money on a gym and what do you call it? Going to exercise. A little bit of fasting and control of the food definitely helps your body, that you know anyway. But do you know that the fasting improves the efficiency of brain like anything? Okay, this is a modern discovery, not I. Many doctors worldwide have found out and recommend fasting as a practice periodically. Have you heard of this disease called Alzheimer's and called something called dementia, where as aging the person loses his memory? What's happening? The brain, just like any other part of the body, consumes a lot of energy. 22% of the energy what you take every day goes to the brain itself. 22% of your calorie intake is for the brain, carbohydrate. Because brain has to do processing, lot of processing. Now this, when the brain processes, definitely there is some amount of waste which is produced. Okay. Some cells of the brain go dead. The body has a mechanism. When you eat food, the food gets digested. Initially, couple of hours, when the food gets digested, the body uses that energy to build and rejuvenate cells. It's used for building new cells or storing the energy in the form of fat or cells. Initially, it has to quickly take the energy and store it somewhere or use it for building the cells. After that, it starts cleaning what has happened. Okay? Some cells are dead, some toxic material is there in the body, those have to be removed. So body requires some time for removal of toxic materials. First build the cells, then remove the toxic materials. Now before the body finishes building up the cells, then you start feeding again. The body is continuously building the body. Rather, toxin removal doesn't happen. And toxins will keep getting accumulated in your body. And that's the cause of many of the diseases. And this happens in the brain cells also. Brain cells die, many of them. They have to be removed. So for this, we take food, basically carbohydrate. When your brain uses mainly carbohydrate, all this rice and whatever I did, what we did, 22% of that goes to brain. Some time is required for the brain to remove the waste. Body to remove the waste from the brain. And by removing the waste, the body will get opportunity to build new connections and new cells. This can happen during the time when you do fasting. When you do fasting, you don't take carbohydrates, you don't take the rice and carbohydrates. So body will use alternate pathways to create the energy required for the cells. When you say alternate pathways, alternate means of generating energy, either from protein or from the muscle fiber, whatever. And when it does this, some of the hormones which are produced, which is called, I think it's called human growth hormone, that facilitates new connections in the brain and while removing the brain waste. So the fasting helps you to clean the brain, to improve the brain, and to have a good brain till you become old in the old age without suffering dementia and Alzheimer's type of diseases. You can retain a good working brain because of fasting. Our ancestors didn't know all these chemicals which is going on in the body, but they told twice a month, Ekadashi day, you do the fasting. Okay? The fasting helps us to keep the brain in a peak condition. Simple. Nowadays we have forgotten the fasting. Feasting has become the passion. If you don't eat some food for some time, you will start feeling restless. And we look at any food, we want to stuff into our mouth. All the colorful foods and the good smelling foods. But give rest to the body, give rest to the brain, for the body and brain to rejuvenate. This is what is called fasting. And Vaikunta Ekadashi day, the fasting is recommended. So fasting is also recommended once in 15 days or periodically, if not for God's sake, for your own sake. Because God's sake we don't do many things. God's sake we do prasadam but we eat. But for your own sake you need to do fasting. Okay? Which improves your brain condition. Is it clear? Our ancestors were very clear about this. They told once in 15 days at least you do one fasting. Okay? So that is why the fasting is done in Vaikunta Ekadashi day. By doing the fasting, the brain becomes silent. Lot of junk in the brain, waste products in the brain gets thrown out. Some of the growth hormones in the body are generated to replenish the brain. Coupled to that, the intense cosmic activity which is going on, cosmic energy goes on, helps you to uplift your consciousness. That's why we do the fasting and celebrate Vaikunta Ekadashi. Are we clear about fasting? About feasting in the festival I don't have to tell. But fasting is important for your health, especially for your brain, and especially for your liver, which is actually the main cleaning agent in your body. The liver performs the function of cleaning both brain and liver sometime to clean the mess which is going on in your head. That's why the fasting. Okay? And it builds the new cells, creates growth in the brain. And add to that, the cosmic event, cosmic energies will help our spiritual growth. Okay? Now, what is the spiritual growth? How does it grow spiritually? Because we know growth, career growth, business growth, family growth, money growth, what is spiritual growth? How does it happen? What is spiritual growth all about? What is this? That's what is the essence of Vaikunta Ekadashi. Vaikunta means, Vai means no, Kunta means deficiency. Where there is no deficiency, that's called Vaikunta. What is this? Where there is no deficiency? Where is deficiency? Where is deficiency? In our mind, always there is deficiency. There's never mind is feels fulfilled. Mind can never feel fulfilled. Mind always has deficiency. Always mind says something is missing, something more is required. Everything what you have, something more is required. There was one gardener in Akbar's palace. He is taking care of gardens. And a very jovial fellow, always sings, dances, very happy mood. Okay. And Akbar is always tensed up because running a country, running an empire is not easy. Lot of politics every day. Right? Every day somebody is fighting, some war is there, some tension. So he is jealous of this fellow, who is the gardener, who is always relaxed and enjoying the life. Okay. Then he tells Birbal, how come he is so happy and I am not happy? Okay. Birbal says, He is also unhappy. He has to discover unhappiness. How is it possible? Every day I am seeing, last couple of years, he is very joyful. And after one day, Akbar sees this fellow has become very sad, very depressed. The gardener, okay, very depressed. And after that, he is never smiling at all. Days are over, months are over. The person who is jovial and happy and all, suddenly has become depressed. Akbar asked Birbal, what did you do? What did you do to him? Did you do something? And Birbal said, very simple, sir. I left one pot of gold coins, 99 gold coins. So that fellow is worried where the 100th gold coin has gone. For that one gold coin, he is so worried. His life is full of tension. So we are always looking in life for that one extra piece. The mind is never satisfied. Mind is always craving, seeking. The place where the mind stops seeking is called Vaikunta. Okay? Because mind gets fulfilled, mind becomes peaceful, mind becomes relaxed. Not temporarily, but permanently. That's called Vaikunta. So mind attains peace. That's why in Vaikunta, Narayana is there. Narayana means Naranam Ayanaha. Nara is human being. Ayanam means resting place of human beings. Resting place of mind is called Vaikunta. Where is that Vaikunta? You have heard of Vaikunta, the Milky Ocean, the serpent, the cosmic serpent, and Srimad Narayana sleeping. The Milky Ocean represents the purified mind full of Sattva Guna. The mind which is purified is called Milky Ocean, Sattva Guna. And your inner self, Atma, is Narayana. The inner consciousness, innermost consciousness of everybody is called Narayana. So if the mind is able to find that innermost consciousness, mind attains peace, mind attains rest. As long as the mind is not able to attain that inner Narayana, it will keep on searching outer human beings. Mind is like a bird sitting on a ship. There is a ship moving in the ocean. There is a bird. The bird is restless to find some fruits on the tree, greenery. Nowhere trees to be seen. It's a vast ocean. The mind is restless. The bird is restless. Where to find the fruit? The bird flies north direction. For a couple of miles, it's not able to find anything. Comes back to the ship. Flies eastways, westways, southways. Nowhere it's able to find the land. Gets tired and comes back and sits in the ship. And the ship reaches the shore. There is a green tree. The ship is our body. The mind is the bird.
Why can't it just eat a fish?
That's a vegetarian bird, not a non-vegetarian bird. So, the body is the ship, the mind is the bird. The mind keeps on searching for joy and happiness outside until it finds the inner joy, inner peace. That is called Narayana. One who attains that inner peace is called Gnani or enlightened one. Okay, enlightenment is nothing but the mind discovering its source, which is nothing but the self, the Atma, Narayana within you. Narayana inside in you has to be discovered by the mind, and that is what is called Vaikunta, where there is no deficiency.
How can the mind discover the Atma? Because the mind is limited.
Yeah, actually mind discovering the Atma is equal to, is not, mind is, there is a knowing function. The mind has a limited ability, limited capability. The mind has called three gunas, sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. There are three qualities of the mind. When the mind is able to, the rajo guna and tamo guna, the passion and the laziness, if they come down, the sattva guna, the mind which is full of sattva guna, which is that milky ocean, okay, so that becomes tranquil. In that tranquility, the quality of Atma is fully reflected in the tranquil mind. Okay, the mind becomes the perfect mirror for the self. There will be no difference between the pure mind, which is Sattva Guna, and the self. So mind doesn't discover the self, mind merges with the self in that quality. Did you get what I'm saying? It's like a salt doll goes to a ocean to discover how much salt is there in the ocean. The salt doll dissolves in the ocean and the only ocean remains. Similarly, when the mind starts discovering the self, the mind dissolves, the pure quality of the mind dissolves, and only the self remains. The pure mind is nothing but the self itself. The mind has three qualities: Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattoguna. Rajoguna and Tamoguna are impure qualities. Sattoguna is the pure quality. When the Sattoguna, pure Sattva dominates, that part of the mind becomes one with the self. There's no distinction. That is it's not knowing the self, but becoming one with the self is the way mind comes to know.
How do we cultivate this subtle mind?
Yeah, that is about sadhana. Right? Right now we will focus on the Vaikunta Ekadashi. Correct? So the Vaikunta Ekadashi means discovering the self. That is the Vaikunta Ekadashi. Okay? For that, fasting is a facilitator because it improves the efficiency of the brain. And any of the sadhana which is prescribed by a master guru, you can perform in that day, especially the meditation, which will help you to merge with the self. So now the question comes, there is somebody who is a devotee, but he has not merged with the self when he is alive. A person can merge with the self when he is alive, and then he becomes a Gnani, and such a person is called Jivan Mukta, means liberated while he is alive. Okay? Because his mind has merged with the self, he is no longer individual, he is himself Parabrahma Narayana. Through that body-mind complex, the Narayana himself operates directly. That's why we say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. It's not praising Guru. Okay? It's not about praising Guru that you are Parabrahma. Parabrahma is Narayana. The one individual whose mind has merged with the Narayana, there's no longer individual mind, but Narayana himself operating through that body-mind complex. Okay? Such a Sadguru will show the direction for spiritual path. There are fortunate few who have attained Narayana, who attained the supreme reality while they are alive. They are called Jivan Mukta. For them, there is no question of birth and death. The dropping of the body is irrelevant event. There is nothing called death at all for them. While they are living, they have attained that Amritattva or infinity while they are alive. Okay? But what happens to a person who has not attained that supreme reality while he is alive? But he is intense devotee of Narayana. He is intensely loving Narayana. He is worshipping Narayana in the hope that he will attain that supreme reality. But the final merger has not happened. The individuality is still retained. Such a individual, such a noble soul will attain that supreme reality when the gates of Vaikunta are open now. The doors of Vaikunta are open, and such a noble soul will enter into the supreme reality, into the abode of supreme reality, because there is an individuality now. There is individuality, there is supreme being Narayana, and there is individual. Because the union has, the complete union has not happened while he is alive. Lord himself will welcome for such a soul who is a devotee, who has attained pure quality of mind but not final merger, and he will live in that Vaikunta, abode of Vaikunta for a long time, attaining Narayana. For that, gate of Vaikunta has to be opened. This is what happened to Sri Bhishmacharya, a old man, 400 year old man, 300 plus year old man, who fought the war and who was injured, and he slept on the Sharashaya, that arrows, and he was Ichamarani, he can die at any point of time. He waited till Uttarayana Punyakala for leaving the body, for going to the higher planes of existence. So there are two types of souls. One soul becomes Gnani or enlightened while he is alive. The other type of soul is a devotee who will attain a higher level loka. First one is called Sadhyo Mukti or enlightenment while you are alive. Second one is called Krama Mukti or progressive liberation. So Vaikunta Ekadashi is about Sadhyo Mukti, which is Jivan Mukti. Vaikunta Ekadashi is always also about Krama Mukti or ability to reach higher level lokas and live with Narayana when the gates of Vaikunta are open. Okay. So gates, and Bhishmacharya waited till Uttarayana Kala and left his body for going for higher level lokas. It is Sri Bhishmacharya who said about, who gave this Upadesham of Vishnu Sahasranama. Vishwam Vishnu Vishatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhotro. This chanting of Lord's name, the qualities of the Lord's name, he gave the Upadesham to Dharmaraya and others. While he was sleeping on that bed of arrows, Sharashaya. Okay. So Vishnu Sahasranama is the highest means of devotion to the Lord. What does Vishnu Sahasranama contain? The names of the Lord. So the names of the Lord is not just a plain name. Please understand, Sanskrit is a language which actually gives the real pointer to the name. Pointer. For example, English is a language which doesn't have that flavor. English, moon means moon, nothing else. Moon is an object. In Sanskrit, the language points out to the qualities and the essence. The Vishnu Sahasranama, contemplating on Vishnu Sahasranama, is actually the worship of the Lord. Sanskrit is a language which has a meaning embedded in it. You don't have to go to a dictionary to find the meaning. For example, there is something called heaven. The moment I say heaven, what will happen to you? What do you think of? All dances, music, flowers, roses, all those things. In Sanskrit, the heaven is called Na Akam. Na means no, Akam means suffering. Where there is no suffering, heaven is there. Even if you are sitting in an air-conditioned room, or in a palace, or in a beautiful garden, with beautiful singing, dancing going on, if your mind is tortured, you are not in heaven. So Sanskrit gives everything a psychological and spiritual meaning for every name. Vishnu Sahasranama is not a Sahasranama, not 1000 name. It is Sahasranama, means thousands and thousands of names. Every meaning you start contemplating, it will open up into multi-dimensional meanings. That's Vishnu Sahasranama. And please understand why it does so. There is something more to Vishnu Sahasranama than just chanting. Our nervous system, brain, is mapped to the world. Every object in the world is mapped to certain part of the brain. For example, that is a table. Some part of the brain gets activated, some part of the name and form are mapped to certain part of the brain. So if the entire world is mapped to certain part of the brain, there is a sukta in Veda Sukta, where chanting of which activates every aspect of your brain, every part of your brain, nervous system, and creates some pathways. Now the chanting of that is not easy, it's very complex. It's called Brahati Sahasri. Very complex chanting, it requires a specialized training. For most of the people it's not possible. The selected names from Brahati Sahasri is taken and composed for common man to chant and attain the same benefit of getting the
Brain
activation for a higher consciousness. That's Vishnu Sahasranama. The Brahati Sahasra, which is actually a Vedic chanting, very complex. A part of that is taken and given to you in the form of Vishnu Sahasranama for your evolution. What is spiritual evolution? Ultimately, attaining the infinite peace, infinite bliss, and freedom from birth and death. That's called spiritual evolution. So that's Vishnu Sahasranama. Then there is one more dimension to this today. Today is the day Gita Jayanti. Sri Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Arjuna represents common man like us. And we face day in and day out, the life is a struggle, war. Sri Krishna gives Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Incidentally, Gita Jayanti and Vaikunta Ekadashi are falling on the same day. The gates of Vaikunta to be opened, you need a key. That key is Bhagavad Gita. What does Bhagavad Gita teach? What does Krishna teach to Arjuna? It is only two things in Bhagavad Gita. That's called Yajna and Yoga. Yes, entire Bhagavad Gita has only two themes, Yajna and Yoga. What is Yajna? Yajna is how do you live your life? How do you work? How do you interact with the society? How do you live your life in the external world is called Yajna. How do you internally make a union with the divine is called Yoga. The whole of Bhagavad Gita is only two themes are there, Yajna and Yoga. How do you act in the world? How do you act in such a way that it's uplifting you and uplifting others? It's called Yajna. How do you uplift yourself by union with the Lord is called Yoga. The entire Bhagavad Gita is teaching of Yajna and Yoga. In summary, Bhagavad Gita teaches the way of living, way of life, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Kriya Yoga, the way of union, Yajna and Yoga. Yajna has 5 dimensions. It's called Deva Yajna, Pitra Yajna, Rushi Yajna, Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna. Yoga has 4 dimensions. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So, Yoga and Yajna is what Bhagavan teaches. Because we have an outer life, we have an inner life. Outer life, you have to interact with the society, family, everybody. How do you do that? It's called Yajna. Inner life, how do you interact, how do you communicate, communion with the Bhagavan, the Lord, is called Yoga. So this is the key to Vaikunta, gates of Vaikunta. So today is the auspicious day. The gates of Vaikunta are open. Okay. And the key to reaching Vaikunta is Bhagavad Gita, Yajna and Yoga. The key to devotion is Vishnu Sahasranama. We have contemplated the meaning of Vishnu Sahasranama, meaning of Gita Jayanti and also Vaikunta Ekadashi. May Lord bless you all.